Season.
Yeah,
There he is.
Give it to him one more time. Let's regroup on that after this one.
Yeah, we do need to talk. I was going to ask if you want to talk this week.
Yeah,
It's Monday, February 9th. I'm Geoff Schwartz. That is Gabe Goodwin. Geoff Schwartz is smarter than you. Done by DraftKings. DraftKings crown is yours. Gabe, we have reached the end of the National Football League season. The Seattle Seahawks beating the New England Patriots 29-13. You get a reprieve from the Patriots winning a championship. I have to talk about Sam Darnold being a Super Bowl champion. So that's where we sit right now after a Super Bowl that it wasn't the best, but we have a champion and we have controversy with a halftime show and we have a lot to talk about. Gabe, where do you want to start, sir?
Well, I think as a sports fan, you're always rooting for a good game. The next best thing is, a blowout by your team. And then right there with that is the team you hate getting their doors blown off and not for 1 second looking like they had a chance. At no point did the Patriots look like they were in that game, and now they have more Super Bowl losses than any other franchise. Geoff, why do they suck so much?
What I said most of the week was when people tried to find parallels to New England, they brought up two teams, right? The 2001 Patriots, because Tom Brady's first Super Bowl, and Drake May comparing those two things, and the 99 Rams, who had a schedule worse than New England, but won the Super Bowl. The difference, I said this all week, was the Rams have, I think, 4 Hall of Famers on that offense, maybe 5. And then, like London Fletcher, linebacker, who's a finalist in a given Hall of Fame season. And the Patriots, Tom Brady and Ty Law and Richard Seymour and Vrabel and Teddy Bruschi, like, they're not the same teams, right? New England has Drake May, who's going to be really good in my opinion. The 2 defensive tackles, and one of them's name wasn't called at all, Barrymore, who was against Seattle's left guard yesterday. And then they have Christian Gonzalez, who played out of his mind. That's it. 4 guys. And those guys are Christian Gonzalez is elite and the D tackles are fine, but Drake May's not elite yet. And so they're just not as good, Gabe, right? And this is why, very rarely do you sort of nail a game like this. I was wrong last year. I was very right this year. So 24-13. I thought that Seattle would struggle mightily in this game. New England would, to move the football. That's exactly what happened. And none of this surprised me. So, are they going to make it back? I don't know, man. But in this moment, I felt very vindicated for all my Patriots takes.
Everything you told me leading into this game is about how it played out. Things that you could not have predicted. A couple time savers here. At no point in this postseason run did the Seahawks give the ball away. Just unbelievable protect.
Yeah. I mean, the ball wasn't on the ground even yesterday. Darnold did throw some pretty questionable passes. He wasn't great yesterday, but yes, they took care of the ball, and they're good on special teams. They were great on special teams yesterday.
All right, so let's go there, and then I think I want to spend real time on Mike McDonald, but let's go to special teams. I've been very clear on this show. I've been very clear to you and on Twitter for years now. I would prefer that we just cancel kickers. I don't want to spend time talking about whether or not a punter should have been an MVP. People were trying to do that at my party. I don't like special teams. I like football. But, Geoff, it does matter. I mean, truly, second best special teams unit in the NFL, then they end up winning because of special teams. Punts inside the 6 all day, long field goals. How does a football team feel when special teams kind of carries them?
Well, here's why, I think people, there's not much to say about it, right? I mean, I'm not breaking down special teams tape, but I will tell you the punts are not demoralizing, but they're important to the discussion about the game, right? You know, New England's trying to come back in the game, right? Their defense played fine. They didn't stop the run terribly well, but generally speaking, it was fine, right? And there were certain times where you forced a 3-and-out. You did a great job. And the punter murders the ball down the field, and the good job that you did, gets negated with a really, really good punt. And now you think that if you shank one, you have a bad punt. All of a sudden, you get a shorter field, you get a punt return even, you start feeling good about yourself. And it just never happened because Seattle kept putting the ball where it had to be, right? So, like, even example, so you get, it's 6-0 Seattle, okay? You force a punt. There's 4 minutes left in the first half. You think, okay, the ball is at the Seattle, or was that? No, excuse me, the New England 42, right? Mm-hmm. So let's get a touchback. Let's get the ball at the 20-yard line. Let's get some yards. Let's get a field goal. No, ball's out at the 2. It's pretty rough, right, Gabe? Like, you're not going to score many times in this game with the ball at the 2-yard line. It's little moments like that throughout the game that really helped Seattle just keep the clamps on New England.
Yeah. So the Seattle D gets most of the talk today, right? And then that naturally leads to a bunch of interesting, cool stats about Mike Macdonald. First guy to be a DC who leads the best defensive unit in football.
First head coach defensive play caller, yes.
Head coach defensive play caller to lead the best defensive unit in the league and win a Super Bowl. He's done it as a DC. So talk to me X and O's here. Nerd out for a little. He seems like he's got a cool personality. He seems like he's a good leader. He's young. He's cool. Whatever. What's he doing schematically, or how is he using personnel? Why is this defense, which most of us didn't pay much attention to for the first half of the year, why did they come on so strong here when it mattered?
Well, to start with, they have very good football players.
Yes, you guys were great.
That helps a lot, right? That helps a lot. And they have done an incredible job of drafting, right? I mean, look, when you're able to draft the way they have, I'm going to pull up the tweet, right? So
we got it at the end of the rundown here. It's incredible how many they've hit on day one.
We could put it up here if you would like. So you look at, not even that, you look at even more than that. We look at, like, in 2025, Reek Woolen, Bryant, Lucas, all 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks, then Walker, then Cross, then the next year, Hall, and JSN and Witherspoon. By the way, very quickly, NFL honors. Can we get people to pronounce the names correctly? One was a mistake and one was a joke. Like, I get it. We want to be, LOL, want comedians to be there. It's a big moment for these individuals. Can we get their names right? Like, Vrabel's not a hard name to say. JSN, it's not a hard name to say. Am I wrong, Gabe, on that? Like, can we get someone to say their names right?
You mean you don't think that we should just turn all of society over to a few influencers who have been deemed popular? That Drewski making bits out of this guy's whole career is.
And I know, like, the Vrabel thing was an accident, but Tiffany
Drewski's who we're talking about.
Drewski was the one who
we know how to say his name. Why can't he learn how to say JSN's name?
And like I like Drewski. His skits are funny, man. Like the church skit the other day, like they're funny. But, like, there's a time to be funny, a time to be serious. And this kid just had a great season, wins Offensive Player of the Year, and you make some dumb joke about it. Like, I didn't love it. So JSN, Witherspoon, who played great yesterday. The next year, Byron Murphy, then Zabel, and Imanore, who was incredible all season. That doesn't include, by the way, like a 7th round center that they have, or undrafted center they're playing right now. Like, this, Schneider did a great. The ownership there chose the GM over the coach, right? That's what he chose. Yeah. And the GM proved, so they have good football players. On top of that, they're just pretty multiple, Gabe, right? Like, they play zone. They play more man than I thought they would. They brought pressures from different places. They broke tendencies. Like, Witherspoon only pressured 6 times. I think I heard he only pressured, 15 to 18 times all season. He came 6 times in this game. They do a lot of disguising. So when offenses motion guys across, okay, it's for a couple reasons. One is to maybe change the formation just to get a different look, but also tells you man or zone, right? If you motion a guy across, a guy follows with him, it's often man coverage, right? So there was a play on the strip sack last night where they motioned a guy across, Seattle follows, and then plays zone. Right. And Sam Darnold was like, Maye was like, oh, shit, the first guy's sack. Like, they were doing those things. And Maye just never felt comfortable the entire game. I think his shoulder is hurt, Gabe. And, the way he looked in the locker room before the game, the way he just uncomfortable. It just felt uncomfortable. He just didn't seem like he was really, completely confident in the entire offensive structure. And they got out coached. I mean, McDaniels got no plan for pressure whatsoever. Like, just no pressure, no plan. No plan for it. So credit Seattle, man. Great job. But they just out coached the Patriots. It was really good.
All right, wait a second. So I don't. You're smarter than most people, Geoff, especially with football. I'm not falling for the propaganda. This happens all the time. That as soon as the game's over, reports are he was getting a shot in his shoulder and he was more hurt than we realized, and he wasn't on the injury list. But that's because they were trying to not show their hand. Like, I'm calling BS. I don't think we ever hear that if he plays well.
We probably do, but it's probably brought up a little differently. I mean, look, there were throws that, like, he made all season that he just didn't make in this game, and you could go, again, sight pressure, sight nerves, just uncomfortable, all those things. But, like, if you were to say he wasn't 100%, I could buy it with some of the throws he made in this game. But they weren't winning with a healthy Drake Maye either. It wouldn't have mattered.
It doesn't seem like it would have. So, okay, let's talk about the GM for a second more, though. You mentioned Schneider. So another interesting stat here. I believe he is the first NFL GM in history to win Super Bowls with the same franchise, but different coaches and a completely different roster. In other words, no continuity. He just built 2 championship teams in 2 different eras for the team, right? So he does it with Pete and a whole bunch of players. No?
I mean,
you're questioning the stat, or you're saying that doesn't matter?
You wouldn't count. I guess Tom Brady counts for the whole Patriots dynasty, but they had basically a whole new team 10 years later to win a championship.
Except for the quarterback. The point is the GM re-architected 2 completely different teams. All they have in common is the jersey.
Yeah, no,
you're
right.
New coach, new players.
Yeah, that
Schneider's doing something right, and he's drafted well. He drafted well back in the Legion of Boom days.
That sounds about right, because you think about, like, all the teams that won in a given time period, they're kind of sort of dynasties. They sort of win with the same teams. The other one would be, I guess, Philly championship 1 and 2, Lane Johnson. That's like it, I think. Like, there's not many there, I think.
Okay, so good job by them too. Point I'm making really is, like, it takes a second try. I think Cooper Kupp is getting a lot of, like, ooh, is Cooper Kupp a Hall of Famer? We're talking about special teams. We're talking about, wow, Kenneth Walker really was quite a steal. He was kind of discounted for a while. They were sharing the ball with Charbonnet. He's the Super Bowl MVP. It seems like when a team like Seattle wins. Yeah.
I actually think Charbonnet being out helped Walker a lot in this game.
No, it seemed for sure the whole postseason. Yeah. But I guess what I'm getting at is, do we rewrite the narratives after we see such success and then start to have a greater appreciation? A guy like John Schneider really did build the best team on the West Coast, and now they've won multiple Super Bowls.
I mean, if you don't have appreciation for it, you're just not good. You're not, maybe not a football fan. I don't know. Like, I don't know what. I do think that where they plays a role in this, because they're in Seattle.
Keep going. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, they're a West Coast football team in the Pacific Northwest. Like, it's just not going to be a national brand. If this was happening with Pittsburgh or Green Bay or shoot the Patriots, it'd be a different story. But I think because they're tucked away in the Pacific Northwest, and I think a lot of people, including myself, for a long time this year, thought the Rams were better.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's partly why it plays into. Now that they won, you do get that full picture of how good he has done. Because look, even like the quarterback Darnold was not good yesterday, Gabe, and to win a Super Bowl that convincingly without a good quarterback or without a quarterback playing well is impressive, because the roster is the way it is. They didn't need a quarterback to do very much yesterday. I mean, his best throw was a schemed up corner throw to Barner that was like, we could have made that throw.
Thank you for including me in that. I agree. I could have made that throw. I don't know about you. Adam Schefter posted this, and a lot of people were talking about it. The first QB from the 2018 draft class to win a Super Bowl. So Baker went 1 overall. Josh Allen was 7th. They get Lamar at the end of the first round. Darnold was number 3 overall, and he's the guy. None of us would have predicted this a few years ago. He's the guy with the ring first.
So it's 5th team already. I don't think anyone thought this. Your boy Colin's taking a victory lap, and I don't think he even really thought this. I know he's been on Sam Darnold for like the last 5 weeks, but I don't think anyone thought this was going to happen.
Nobody did. I didn't think he would turn into this coming out of USC, where I watched him and rooted for him. I bailed on the Jets because of that draft pick. That's when I knew they just had no idea how to run a franchise. Yeah. I'm happy for Sam, who seems like a good guy, but no.
I think this is a story that we're starting to talk about more when it comes to quarterback evaluation out of college. And we're talking about fit, right, Gabe? We used to never talk about that. That's something we never talked about, right? You drafted a talented guy, and you made sometimes a square peg fit into a circle, right? Or a circle fit into a square. And you said, okay, you're talented enough to run our scheme. You're talented enough to do what we want you to do what we're doing. And now it's all about fit, man. The best coaches adapt their scheme to the player, right? The best coaches are able to sort of build around the quarterback in the best way possible, in my opinion. Best franchise able to do that. And, Darnold just, luck's the wrong word, but he was put in this place and sort of had the pieces around it to be successful. Now, he needs a lot to go right. Like, if they lose a couple guys get hurt, that's it. Like, you're not going to win at the same rate they did this season. But fit is so important, right? And we're seeing that with Darnold. We might see that with other quarterbacks leaving this offseason. And I'm glad we talk about that more and more, because I think it matters. I talked about this a lot when it came to the draft last year with like Ashton Genty, right? You draft him 6th overall. The fit is terrible because the Raiders' offensive line stinks. You can't use him properly, right? So fit matters. It's always mattered, 100% mattered. But we never talked about it, it feels like, as openly as we do now when it comes to evaluating these players out of the draft.
Yeah. Well, they also, this keeps circling back to Schneider when we talk fit. They've also been good with their money, right? So they're heading into next year. I want to kind of spin this forward a little. I believe they have like top 5 or 6 in terms of cap space. So they've theoretically got some money to spend. Maybe they have to make some adjustments. Maybe they have to say thank you to a few guys. I don't know exactly whose deals are up when, but they might be able to keep the core pieces together. The key, we've talked so much about the Mahomes Chiefs on this show together over the years. The key to their success was it started with him on a rookie deal. Sam's not on a rookie deal, but he's at a bit of a discount compared to most franchise quarterbacks. So, how do you think they'll manage their money? Do you think they can keep this core unit together? Is this the beginning of a run, or was this, hey, it all lined up good for them, enjoy it, but not again?
I mean, they have a ton of cap space. Kenneth Walker's probably gone, I would imagine. I don't think they pay him. And they're not big free agent spenders, right? It's not what they've done over the years. So I would imagine that they'll be back in the spot next year. The NFC, though, is much, much tougher than the AFC. Like, look at their division, right? Look at the North. Look at the East. I mean, they're probably going to run back most of the same team as this year. If Darnold, but here's the thing, though. If anything isn't about perfect around the quarterback, is he going to elevate the team? Well, let's say they have 2 or 3 injuries, right, on the defense. Let's say that they get injury on let's say JSN's out for 6 weeks, right? Like, is Sam Darnold going to overcome those things? I don't know, but it's fair to say that I think they'll be in the consideration to win a Super Bowl. I'm not betting on it. I mean, well, we've had one repeat champion, right? And the Chiefs since the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
With the Patriots. Hard to do that.
Very hard to do it, except that they did it without too many superstars. It's not like the mouths they have to feed are very hungry mouths. So
no, it's a young group, correct?
Yeah, and I'm just going to name 2 names. You're smarter than me, but 2 jump out to me as like, what? Like that guy ended up there. That guy was awesome, and he's there at a bargain. Lawrence and Williams on the defensive line.
Lawrence is older now.
Okay, but like that's a guy who could apparently still play. Leonard Williams, like
the Leonard Williams was a good trade.
That's a coup.
Yeah, it was. The thing about it's funny because DeMarcus Lawrence when he signed there, he came out and said something like the Cowboys don't win championships, and so I just don't want to be there, and everyone mocked him for that. And now he's Super Bowl champion. So good for him. Big night for you. Your Trojans, man. There were like 5 Trojans that want to, one return a touchdown pass on defense. Winning quarterback was a I saw a USC Trojan picture that was out there.
A lot of Trojans on the field. Did you know, Geoff? I was going to save this for you, but this can be how we wind down the A block and get to some other news. Did you know that now USC has the most Super Bowl champions of any college team?
I did not know.
That's true. More than Oregon has.
Well, I mean, can't win a conference championship, but could win a Super Bowl. Good for you guys.
We prepare people for their professional careers. That's what college is for, right?
I mean, isn't it like, wouldn't you think you'd win more in college football because you have better players?
Well, what you're talking about has to do with coaching. There's a very talented people like to be at USC. They don't necessarily gel well there.
Okay.
They did for a few years.
Yeah.
With a guy who won a ring in Seattle. So, there's a lot of full circle stuff here. Geoff, anything left on the bone here about the game or the players on the field? Because I want to switch gears to some other topics, but I don't want to, miss the chance.
No,
Actually, I have one more thing. Can I ask you about the rookie lineman there, Will Campbell for the Pats?
Yes.
He feel like he's getting beat up a lot, and guys like you need to come in here and make us a little smarter.
Yeah,
was he getting tooled on all night long, or are we getting that wrong?
No. It's funny because Next Gen Stats had 14 pressures. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, I put a video out at Geoff Schwartz on my Twitter. It's 15 minutes long. It's on my YouTube as well.
15 minutes?
Talking about Will Campbell. Part of it is, I think it's just a technique. It's just a technique fix. He needs to fix like sort of what he's doing with his technique. And there are many plays he has in the game that were fine. And so it's a matter of, to me, of just sort of kind of fine tuning that a little bit. And if he can fine tune that and sort of do what works in his wheelhouse, he'll be much better.
I also think he hasn't changed his underpants in years. Should he change his underpants? These are no longer good luck underpants.
Is that a thing?
Pretty sure that guy wears the same underpants every game.
He's getting murdered, man. Oh man, I feel bad for him. Rookie coming off an injury, like bad.
Drake Maye joins a not so great club. Guys who made their first Super Bowl in their second season, none of the others have ever gotten back to a Super Bowl or have not yet gotten back to a Super Bowl. He's in company with some big names too.
I think I saw that Jalen Hurts is the last quarterback in like the last 20 quarterbacks to lose their first Super Bowl and get to a second one.
And then win it. Yeah.
Well, he won it, yeah, but I don't think anyone's even gotten to a second one.
No, it can be pretty demoralizing. So
now,
Burrow hasn't gotten back.
A little bit. It happened with Elway, but that's like before the last 20, of course.
He lost his first and he got back. But for the guys who got there in their second season, Marino and Burrow, Brock Purdy, Drake Maye now, none of those guys ever got back and won. So we'll see. Do you think Drake Maye? You still like him? He's shown you enough.
I think it's unlikely they get back, just because that's just what the NFL has been.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're another team where it doesn't seem like they relied upon stars, and they've always built pretty good rosters in New England. So I don't like saying this, but I could see them starting to become a very serious AFC contender for the next several years. I don't know if Drake Maye is ever going to sort of clear the Josh Allen bar, but he's close enough.
Look, man, it's possible. I just think it's hard to do.
Yeah.
And betting on someone to not make it is an easier bet, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the way life goes. Let's take a quick break. Let's come back. There's a couple other pieces of news related to the Super Bowl, and then I want to talk halftime and some other stuff.
Let's do it. All right, we're back here, Gabe. A couple more things to cover and some news and notes here. What do you want to get to?
Clint Kubiak, basically right after the game ends, he confirmed he is going to be the next Raiders head coach. We should have probably discussed that as having an impact on Seattle next season, but for now, let's talk about it from the Vegas perspective.
Well, we could do it now. I mean, this is a big. This reminds me of Ben Johnson leaving the Lions, right? So
Okay.
it's a big loss. Kubiak did a great that touchdown pass. The throw, I mean, not the pass. The design that Barner was so good. They kept motioning that tight end across and
Yep.
running the ball
Yep.
right to him, and then motioned him across, faked it. He ran a little corner route. Boom, touchdown. It's gonna be a loss. It's gonna be a loss. I like Mendoza. We talked about this a little bit. I mean, the corniness worries me, but overall, I think Mendoza's a good football player, and he gets Kubiak. It feels like a really good pairing, right? This Shanahan McVay offense has just been so popular in the NFL and done such a good job that the Raiders have a lot of improvements to make on their offense personnel wise. But I like the hire, man. I think they got a good coach.
All right. All due respect to Kubiak, I don't want to talk about the Raiders any further than you just did. I got to talk about this. Maybe this tweet can go up on the screen. I'll read it to you just in case no one can see it. Ian Rappaport, who I like and I got no issue with, but this tweet seems insane to me. Adam Gase has worked with QBs such as Peyton Manning, Jay Cutler, and Sam Darnold, setting records with Manning as OC. Now set to work with Justin Herbert and the Chargers. I feel like that's not exactly how you should explain Adam Gase's history.
I do feel like if Darnold loses, is that in the tweet, you think?
I mean, it's opportunistic, I guess, to include Sam Darnold in this, but like, I think it's probably more fair to say of Adam Gase what Ian has previously tweeted, which is that he hasn't coached in the NFL since he made an absolute disgrace of the Jets. Yeah. He failed in other places. You know, like Adam Gase, really? Chargers? What are we doing? Justin Herbert doesn't need that, does he?
He's just a quarterback coach, I said?
Set to work with Justin Herbert. I don't know what the role is going to be.
You just are a Jets hater. It's okay. But Gase was.
I'm a Justin Herbert lover, man. You taught me about him.
It seems like a dumb hire, but I trust Mike McDaniel though, so I think they'll be fine.
That's weird that Mike McDaniel wants him around, but all right. The NFL calendar doesn't really take a break. Those of us in the media might like to think of this week as like when you get to take a breather. The NBA is the focus by the weekend. But the fact is we just keep on churning here. So I just want to know, as you look at the horizon, we get a few days off from NFL, and then we got like free agency and combine and the draft, obviously. Like what are you looking forward to right now, Geoff?
Look, I just think that to see sort of what is free agency class is not great. So I don't know if we're going to get that much change in like how I think about these teams, but just start studying the draft prospects. It's sort of a meaty draft, right? You're not getting a ton of flash at the top of the draft. Are there trades early in the draft? What's the jockeying like? And then look, there are teams that feel close. So they're going to make a move or two, or they're going to be a trade, a free agent move. So that'll kind of catch my attention. But the combine is soon, Gabe, like 2 weeks away. So we'll start seeing some of those numbers and workouts come out, and that'll be fun to dissect.
Do you think there's any quarterback who just vanished from the conversation who's going to show up at the combine and everyone's going to then talk about it? I feel like that happens.
Yeah, it's going to be Nussmeier.
Okay. Because he was supposed to be the guy, and then the season didn't go.
Suppose he had a good Senior Bowl, and he's the guy that sounds like that'll be the riser.
I'll buy that. What about Beck? You think he's one of those guys?
I don't think so.
Really? Why? Why is everyone down on him?
I don't think he's average.
I think he's average. Okay. Seems like all he does is win, but okay.
I mean, sure, but that doesn't mean anything.
It means something to me, but fair enough. Let me ask you something, Geoff. We got video, obviously. The guys from the Seahawks are at Disneyland already. That's always been the thing. There's some video circulating of Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker riding the teacups together.
I did see that, yeah.
Cute, yeah, good for them. Geoff, Disneyland, overrated or underrated?
I would have done the Rockets.
Disneyland as a place, overrated or underrated?
So can I admit a bougie thing that we do that makes it way more rated?
Yeah, you can include the Fast Pass if you want.
No, buddy.
You go bougier than Fast Pass?
Yeah. You can pay for a private guide.
Oh, you do the valet thing?
You just cut the line.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You're that guy?
I've done it a couple times, yeah.
Whoa, Geoff. Hold on a second. We're getting somewhere. Let's peel this onion a little bit. You're a very down-to-earth guy. I know you not to be materialistic. Adrian Peterson owes you a snowmobile. You've never even asked for it. What?
Yeah. We did. I mean, I think one day at Disney we did like 21 rides, 22 rides. We got like them all. We got them all in. We got the new Star Wars ride. It just opened up. You just like, like when you see those people that like pop into like you're about to go on the ride and they just like, sort of like pop in from the exit.
Oh, I know those people.
Yeah, we did that. We've done it like twice.
I hate those people. Because I'll be honest with you. I try to make my kids feel guilty that we got the Fast Pass. I'm like, hey.
The Fast Pass system is much harder now, though. You can get a certain number of them, right, at a certain time, and you have to like time them up correctly.
My wife's in charge. I'm not sure how it works, but I know that it costs extra, and I know that we're skipping people online, and I don't want my kids to think that's how life works.
Does it make you feel better that I don't fit on Space Mountain, and it's embarrassing every time I try?
Okay. Yes, that does make me feel better.
I don't fit. It's only right I don't fit on. I try my best to squeeze. I love roller coasters. I try my best to squeeze in. I fit on like.
What about Soarin'? Can you fit on Soarin'?
I haven't been.
They like Soarin'? Bring you up. They lift you up.
Avatar one?
No, it's like a big like VR type thing. Like you're sitting in an.
Is that a new ride?
Harnessed, and your feet are flying and dangling in the air, and they're moving it around.
And the one where you like you're in the three. It's like
It feels like you're flying through space.
The 4D screen or whatever. Like this. Yeah, I fit on that. Yeah,
you can fit in that.
My wife did not like that. That's a little trippy though. That's a little. That one's a little trippy. Avatar's a little trippy. I didn't do Avatar. My kids did. Yeah, I don't fit on space. I fit on Matterhorn and obviously Splash Mountain. And then Thunder Mountain I fit on. And yeah, Space Mountain don't fit on. So I think it's properly rated if you do that. But
okay. Overrated otherwise.
I actually don't think it's overrated. I think it depends what you're there for. If you're there for your kids, that's what you're there for, right? You're there for your kids. If you're there for a turkey leg, sign me up for that. The food is not good. The restaurants mostly suck. Don't do the restaurants. Just eat the park food. Parade's fine. I don't know. I'm not a parade person, I guess, anyways. Fireworks are fun if you stay long enough. If it's fireworks, that's cool. What are your thoughts on Disneyland? I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't want to go any further than that. I'm not a fan. My wife loves it. I don't. So if the kids want to go, that's one less ticket we got to pay for.
My parents have been like 50 times. They love Disneyland. Now they don't go without it. They don't go without us. But like
Disney adults are a whole other topic.
Okay, the Disney adults. We don't have to get in trouble on this show, but that's that I have. And I don't want to get in trouble.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'll just say this. I just think that like I pay to cut the line, a lot of money to cut the line. There's other ways to cut the lines that like I don't love those ways to cut the lines. It's not my favorite. Like why do you like? I don't like that. Feels like a reward for that shouldn't be cutting the line, but nonetheless, that is it. Let's take a break, Gabe. I don't want to get in trouble.
Well, this next topic could get us in trouble, but I agree. Let's talk halftime after this break.
Let's do it. All right, we're back.
Yes,
halftime show. Here's the deal, okay? I didn't understand a word of it, but my daughter loved it. We had a friend over who's 13, 14 now in high school. She did a project in her Spanish class on Bad Bunny. She had a great time. My wife seemed to enjoy it. The people seemed to enjoy it. There were scantily clad women with good physiques dancing all over the screen. Seemed pretty enjoyable to watch. Ricky Martin popped on. Lady Gaga popped on. It was 12 minutes. Seemed like fun. Other people in my party didn't like it. A culture war or Super Bowl halftime show feels like a giant waste of time for everyone in this country. And I know that there's a certain subset of people that like live and die by that culture war, man. But who gives a fuck, dude? Who cares? Like it's not everything is for you. right? Like if you're not selfish in life, you understand like that. Like personally, for me, I don't actually don't mind the music. Like I don't mind like the music itself. That's not really. I don't listen to Bad Bunny in the car. Like that's not for me per se. But my daughter loved it. My wife loved it. Our family friend loved it. Like it's okay to not have every music genre be for you, Gabe, at the halftime show. It's for people that are watching the show. I mean, you want to watch a taped, lip synced show to own the people that want to just watch Bad Bunny? I don't get it, man. Don't get it. But I don't get the culture war over the halftime show.
I'm going to pretend I don't know what you were just referencing and go back to the actual halftime show. Not only do I agree with you, for the record, but visually, if you were at a party where you could barely hear the music, visually, it was awesome. Incredible.
Okay.
And that guy, Benito, that is a performer, man. To get the blocking of all of that on those steady cam shots, to always find your camera, to find your mark, to engage with the person, just the cameos, to get all those shots with the wedding part and all of the various dance moves.
That was real wedding.
Yeah, all of it was real. But just to be climbing up things and jumping off things and doing all of this without any kind of disruption technically, just that alone, forget the sound of the music, is incredible.
Did you know the trees were people inside the trees?
I sure did, and I'm obsessed with that.
Oh, my wife cannot stop watching videos of those trees running on. The memes have been great so far. And at the end, he's like, "I love America." Like, I just have fucks to give in life, and not halftime showing one of them, Gabe. It's just not.
It's not. But also, like, by the way, so fine. So whoever the ideal performer is, whoever the people who are pretending they didn't want to watch this, by the way, the most watched halftime show of all time. So plenty of people liked it. But for whoever's pretending this is objectionable to them, next year's show with your ideal performer will be so much better because nobody wants to like look worse. We're heading in a better and better and better and bigger and better. Like the video, like the sets and the effects and the camera shots and the colors and all of it, the texture of that whole thing. If it's somebody boring and mainstream, they will now have to try so much harder to try to clear that bar that Bad Bunny just set. That's a good thing.
It's going to be LA next year. So I do wonder what they do with artists if it's tied to Los Angeles. So they obviously did the Dre and Snoop one already. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they go like rock and roll band, like a West Coast rock and roll band after Bad Bunny. I don't think country music fits at Los Angeles. I don't think that's going to happen. Kendrick Lamar was 2 years ago. Don't expect to have like hip hop be back, right? It does feel like a band of some sort for next year. We'll see. Looking forward to it.
There's not that many people on earth who can pull it off. You know, you need to be the type of performer. Let's put it this way. You need to be the type of person who can be the musical act and the host when you go on SNL, which is what Bad Bunny did. Like, to be able to carry like a performance and make music people love. That's hard.
Do you think maybe it could be Taylor Swift eventually?
I mean, certainly she's the kind of person who could, if she said she wanted to do it, it would be her.
I wonder because people try to do it around albums, right? I think Bad Bunny's new album coming out, so they try to like I don't know what Taylor Swift's album schedule is, but that's always seems to be a way to do that. Again, I just have like I get on social media and like the people like I think to myself like, do you see what you just wrote on the internet? Like, do you ever read that back? I think to like I can't believe I just wrote like that thing about the halftime show. And it's like I'm not watching the Super Bowl anymore. Okay, whatever you say. We'll see you next year, buddy.
You know what gets me that worked up?
What
I will call Sandler slander. I do not like.
What was this about?
Let me tell you what it's about. All right, the broadcast inaccurately suggested that Adam Sandler was rooting for the Patriots because they cut to him. And, you know, he's from the Boston area. He's from New Hampshire. He's got the accent. But he's wearing a Super Bowl hat. But if he turns his head to the side, you only see the logo for the Patriots. So they sort of assign him Patriots fandom. He's famously a Jets fan. He's not a Patriots fan. And also quite famously this year, a friend of Bad Bunny. So presumably he's there as his guest to support him. He's not there to root for the Patriots. And yet, that's what's spreading on the internet. So I stood in the way of that. I got on the record to correct that. Don't slander Sandler.
I did see something too that was like, I saw a tweet, and again, this is it's the internet, like something like Sandler talked positive about Bad Bunny. This is how Republicans should talk about something they don't like. I was like, what does that have to do with anything?
Republican? What the hell? What?
Like, I thought this you were talking about. There was a tweet about him being a Republican and being like happy to see Bad Bunny.
I don't care about Adam Sandler's politics. I care about every single thing about Adam Sandler except his politics.
Who cares? Correct. I don't care. It just was like a weird, like it went viral. That's what I thought you were talking about. It's like a
no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this notion that he's a Patriots fan.
Oh, he's certainly not.
I am just making sure people understand. Even though I divorced the Jets, I am proud to say that I know that Adam Sandler is a Jets fan.
You'll be back. You'll be back when they're good again. Before we get out of here, because I do have to go to pick my daughter from swim. I saw your favorite creature at Super Bowl, and
favorite creature.
Yeah, Pete the dog.
Oh, come on.
And look, I love my dog. Fo is my best friend. We spend entire days together. I love my dog. I'm actually more on your side after seeing Pete in person.
Thank you, Peter.
Here's why. So this is Kurt Herbstreit's dog. No training whatsoever. It just ran wherever it wanted. Like it just ran. Like he was doing an interview on a serious set, like on a pop up. It actually was for people, I think. And the dog just was just going wherever he wanted. Like no sit stay, no, like plots, no, just constant, like wherever he wanted to go. Now I pet the dog. I like dogs. I was like, hey buddy, what's up? Very soft dog, good looking dog in person. But I didn't like the lack of discipline, no training whatsoever.
Geoff, I don't think there's anything in the whole world that bothers me more than dogs off leashes. I find it so disrespectful.
Okay. In public, you mean, right?
Yeah. Like at Radio Row.
Yeah.
Or on the beach. Or at a park that is not a dog park.
Like my dog, it is Radio Row. If I brought him, I would just put him in his place and he would stay there the whole time.
Obviously, I don't care if a dog is off a leash if it doesn't move. I'm talking about dogs that roam around where the owner's like, oh, no, he's friendly.
Oh, see, my dog
is
friendly, but I rather people don't touch him.
For their sake, for your sake, for what?
Both.
In every public place that you go, there are people who are afraid of dogs or people who don't want to pet your dog or aren't impressed by what it looks like. You have to be respectful of those people. You can't just be like, sorry, he's friendly. Like you don't get to have that attitude, dog owner.
So my dog is a German Shepherd. He gets a little bit nippy every now and then.
Right.
And so I try to keep him away from people he doesn't know. And again, he's bit zero people. So but he just can. Like he get nippy sometimes. He gets excited. And if I take the dog with me in the car to drop my kids off in the morning for school. He loves it. And he's very worked up. He doesn't like when the kids leave the car. He's whining and acting like an ass sometimes. And people will come up and be like, "Oh," I'm like, "Don't touch a dog in the car. Like he's gonna bite you. Please don't." Like I just don't. Like they don't even ask me. They just come up. I'm like, "No. Like, can you ask me to touch a dog, please? Like, don't. I'm worried about him trying to bite you. Like this is his space. He's protective of his space, and you're now putting your hand in my car. Like if he bites you, that's your problem. You didn't ask me to put your hand in my car. Please don't do that." Yeah, he's never done it before.
That's true too. Now, but now you know this about your dog. So if you went to the beach and you were like, "Go ahead, Fo," and then the dog starts snipping at a 4-year-old.
Yeah. Well,
the 4-year-old's crying. That's on you, man.
In South Carolina, I will take him off leash a little bit and plus I'll throw the ball at the beach, but he just recalls right to me. So he's not ever care about nothing else.
You remember that. This summer when your dog scares some 4-year-old, I'm going to tell you I tried to warn you.
I wouldn't do it with kids around either though. So I do it a lot of times like at dusk when we're getting ready to go to bed. No kids outside.
All right. Well, I'm glad you met Peter the dog, who has spent the whole season on the ban list. That was the first thing we did was ban that dog. I'm glad we ended the football season by talking about him.
Okay. My wife asked me, am I going to pick Emerson up?
It's time.
Okay. We'll be back next week. Week after that, we'll figure it out. Take care, everyone. Have a good week.